chagrin, considering the bitter regrets Diana later had about the Morton book, responsibility for planting the idea of a book in her head lies in part with me. Towards the end of the last decade, Britain was in the grips of a profound recession. I was desperately casting about for a means of raising funds for some of my charities when I hit upon the idea of writing an authorised biography of the Princess of Wales, focusing on her charity work, with the proceeds to go to 3 of the charities we had in common. At first, Diana was amenable, but by the time I went to Buckingham Palace in August 1990 for an appointment to discuss it with her press secretary, she had changed her mind. In a nutshell, she wanted me to write the book that Andrew Morton later published. Had Diana told me she wanted me to produce a panegyric, I would have turned her down cold. However, she did not. She led me to believe she wanted me to write the truth of my life, to quote her. "The fairy tale is killing me," she said. "If I don't escape from it, I'll die." I agreed to write what became Diana in Private on those conditions, thinking that I would have the liberty of providing a balanced account of her life. Only later, after contracts were signed and the book was well underway, did Diana and I appreciate that we had misunderstood one another's positions. She did not want a truthful account of her life, but a heavily slanted version with which she could gain a separation from Prince Charles, whereas I told her, "I'm not about to trash your husband when he doesn't deserve it." Although this difference led to 3 years of non-speaks, to use the vernacular which Diana's circle employed, we did kiss and make up, literally and publicly, at a reception at the Russian ambassador's residence in July 1995. Thereafter, we became what the English call chummy. We cleared up many of the misunderstandings which had arisen during the War of the Waleses and grew to be on such cordial terms that I cried on the day of her death. Much of what I know about the Princess of Wales is not public knowledge. The Diana I knew and liked is a far more complicated, conflicted, intriguing, and fascinating person than the wildly disparate saint or lunatic she is frequently portrayed to be. I hope that I have done her greater justice in the forthcoming pages than she often receives, and that I reconcile for the readers what onlookers have so far viewed as puzzling contradictions. I also hope that the picture I paint captures her essence as well as her spirit. Diana had both a great sense of fun and a great burden of pain. I hope I make intelligible for the reader what it was like to be so privileged, yet so anguished, so beloved, yet so self-loathing, so spoiled, yet so deprived, so hopeful by nature, and yet so often despairing. To the world, Diana, Princess of Wales, was a living myth, but to herself, she was just a human being trying to make some sense and to gain some satisfaction out of a life of extremes. It is the circumstances of that life, and the motives that drove her, which the succeeding pages will lay bare. Chapter 1. Diana, Princess of Wales, lived her life as she was born on the 1st of July 1961, amid intrigue, ambition, privilege, passion, pain, and pleasure. Throughout it all, she would be pulled in many different directions, some of them diametrically opposed. She believed that this conflict started before her birth. I was a disappointment. My parents were hoping for a boy. They were so sure I'd be a boy, they hadn't even thought of a girl's name for me. She was finally registered as the Honourable Diana Frances Spencer, named after the 18th century Lady Diana Spencer, who nearly married Frederick, Prince of Wales, and after her own mother, Frances. In yet another show of what she took to be her diminished status as a girl, Diana, who later developed a heightened interest in status as a result, was the only one of her siblings to be christened without a royal godparent. On the 30th of August 1961, unlike her eldest sister Sarah, whose godmother was Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother, or her elder sister Jane, whose godfather was the Duke of Kent, or her younger brother, who would boast the Queen as his